Hello, everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. My name is Alex. I'm here with Kev for another episode of the CFTV preview show. Kev, you're on holiday at the moment, mate. So thanks for managing to make the video. We've got to fit it in as much as we can so we can be consistent. But look, speaking of consistency,
Yeah.
we need to see some consistency from this Chelsea side. I think we had a pretty decent start against Liverpool. We can all agree on that, I think. But obviously, we've got West Ham coming up this Sunday. Look, they had the same result as us, a 1-1 draw against a slightly worse opponent in Bournemouth. But it's still a tough game in the London Stadium. We've had a number of games there over the past few years, and we always struggled to pick up a win against West Ham for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why. I was on the Blue Balls podcast earlier on, and everyone seems to think that we're still going to drop points, and I just don't get that. I mean, look, they struggled to make signings. Obviously, they got rid of Declan Rice. But I still think there is a threat there, but I just think we pose that bit more quality. But we're going to get into it, guys. We're going to get into it. I mean, first of all, Kev, how are you and how are you feeling about Chelsea?
I'm great. I'm great. Recovering from last night's antics, but I had to make my appearance on the show, which is more important than anything. Speaking about this beautiful club, uh, we are going into the game in good shape, and there is absolutely no excuse at all for us not to get the 3 points. If we don't get the 3 points against West Ham on Sunday, we are not serious about winning the league. We're not serious about getting top four. They are there for the taking. Got rid of most of their good players. Players them with JWP and is Alvarez from Ajax.
Yeah,
That's all they've
that's
got
right.
really. They've got no don't pose no threat attacking wise. Decent midfielders. JWP, we all know, not the best on the ball, but give him a free kick or bang in, put in the top bins. But I can't see where their threat's coming from. If we play like we did in the last 20 minutes against Liverpool, I'm sure we'll kill the game off. Keep getting the ball, Enzo on the ball. Jackson keep on making the runs. Zuma, we all know, a bit of a slouch, so I'm sure Jackson will give him a tough game. So hopefully we can get the three. But even hopefully we should be getting the 3 points. If we do get the 3 points, it goes to show that we are a step ahead and moving forward from last season.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about the lack of threats from West Ham. I mean, they do have threats, Kev. I mean, let's not be too hard. I mean, Ward Prowse. I mean, from the get go, with set pieces, you've got players like Antonio, Thomas Souček, players like that are going to get into goal scoring positions when you've got a corner or a free kick. And we have to be on our toes for that.
Yeah, of course. Oh yeah, Souček, we know Souček, 6'4", whatever he is a good in the air. Antonio as well, strong, can get him behind, very direct. Well, mate, we should be dealing with these players with the quality that we've got. We should be dealing with the threats they threats that they've got. Last season at home against Southampton, cheap free kick, JWP, top bins. As long as we don't give a free kick away in the silly area outside the box, JWP is not really going to give you any threat. So personally, yeah, they have got their obvious threats, but it's nothing like playing against a City or Arsenal where they're going to keep coming and coming and coming. We all know with the West Ham's manager style, David Moyes' style of football. He's a very counter-attacking manager. They ain't going to keep the ball. They're not going to want to play the ball in positions where they can get in behind us. All they're going to do is sit back and then try and hit us on the counter attack. So if we can keep the ball, be patient, I'm sure we'll break them down and we will get that goal. I just think we just got to go out there, just be patient, break them down, and I'm sure the goal will come.
I mean, I'm going to say it from the get go, Kev. I think we're going to absolutely batter West Ham. That's not to say that they don't have threats, because I think they do. I just think that we've upgraded so much in a short period in terms of the players we've brought in, especially in that midfield. I just don't see how West Ham are going to break us down. And even if they do get one goal, I think we can get more. So, I mean, if I was predicting a score straight off the back, I'd be going straight away 3-4-1, or even 3 or 4-0. The London Stadium, people talk about how difficult it is to go to that stadium. And I guess I can understand it. I mean, it's a bit like Bournemouth. It's kind of a bogey team away from home at times. But we don't play them at the beginning of the season. We always play them, like I remember a couple seasons back, we went on a long winning streak with Tuchel. We hadn't lost in the league, and then we went to West Ham and we lost 3-2. I mean, it was a fluky game, but it still happened. That was just a matter of time. And I think a lot of these things, timing is important, and the timing's good for us. West Ham away, I'm not saying it's an easy game. No game in the Prem is easy, but you got to be winning this, guys. They haven't picked up steam. We're still figuring out as well, but what's the difference? We've got more quality. I mean, that's it. We've got more quality and we've got fantastic depth as well. So let's not act like we haven't got a team that's capable of thrashing West Ham. I know last season we got battered everywhere we go, but you spend all that money, and by the way, not just spending, getting rid of the players as well. You got a team who want to fight for the badge as well. This is a London derby. There's no reason we shouldn't be up for it. I mean, also, Kev, I mean, let's go on to what we think we're actually going to see in terms of the setup. Conor Gallagher, he had a fantastic game against Liverpool. Now, obviously, we've just signed Lavia and Caicedo. Do you think it's unfair for Pochettino to drop Gallagher and bring those players in, or should he just be harsh and chuck Gallagher on the bench and stick the new signings on?
What you got to see is Gallagher had a good game. He sure did. He got onto the ball quite well. More than anything, his work rate was usually the same. He works very hard and he wants to play for the badge, which is good. But I think with Caicedo, you're getting a lot more quality. You're getting a player who's going to win your balls, getting a player what's going to drive forward. You can see a pass as well. Same Lavia. Personally, it's a ruthless business, and you want to play the best players. Gallagher do a game, but I'd start Caicedo straight away. No ifs or buts. You want to start your best players. Unfortunately for Gallagher, he's not on the level of Caicedo yet.
But I mean, if you look at the Liverpool game, he showed a top level. I mean, I'm not talking about a 7 out of 10 against Liverpool. 8, 9 out of 10 performance. I mean, that was as good as you get from a midfielder, especially in terms of the work rate, the defensive ability, and the coverage as well on the pitch. I just think it sends, I'm not saying a bad message, but it's like, what do I have to do to play? I've just had the best game I've ever had in a Chelsea shirt, and then I've been dropped. Like, how do you explain that if you're Poch?
That's the thing. I'm sure Gallagher at the start of the season, there was talks of him moving, and I think Poch said he wants to keep him in and around. So I'm sure he knows that he's a squad player. We haven't brought all these midfielders sitting the bench. Gallagher knows that. He knows he's going to be a squad player. I think if we had signed Caicedo prior to the Liverpool game, Gallagher would have even played anyway. So it is a difficult choice to make as a manager, and it is bad for him to be sitting on the bench after such a good performance. But I'm sure Caicedo is going to turn up as well and put in a better performance than what Gallagher did. I'm 100% certain of that.
Because I think it's a different conversation, Kev. I think if Caicedo came in before the Liverpool game, it's a no-brainer. Of course, you start Caicedo. I mean, Gallagher's he wasn't great for us last year. I mean, he worked hard. He scored a couple of goals. That's fine, but he was nothing special. He looked like a mid-table player, and we were a mid-table team. So, I mean, that makes sense. But that performance for me, that puts him in a conversation where if you can do that every week, I don't care if you pay 100 million for Caicedo. Caicedo, of course, he's going to get the game time, and he deserves the game time because we know he's a fantastic player. But these are two young players. Caicedo's on a long-term contract at Chelsea. You have to earn your spot. You can't just walk into every single starting lineup. I mean, I was listening to a podcast earlier. It was about Man United, and it was a Man United fan that was doing it, and they were talking about Ten Hag and how ruthless he is in terms of dropping players. And this guy basically said he said, I'm not worried about Mount's performances because Mount's not been great for United so far, because he knows that Ten Hag's going to drop him if he doesn't perform. He's not going to keep playing him pointlessly. The fans expect Ten Hag to make the big decisions that are right for the team, whether the fans or the owners like it or not. That's the way it is. But I have to say, I really do think that Gallagher should start. I mean, I know I'm going on about it,
Yeah.
because then we'll learn two things. We'll either learn if he's good enough or not, and we'll also learn if he can do it week in, week out. Because I think if Gallagher does something similar,
Maybe this sorry to interrupt. Maybe there's space for both of them because obviously I believe we only played the 5-2-1-2 is Liverpool. Yeah, it was
yeah, we
5-2-1-2.
played three at the back,
I believe
two
we
wing back.
wing backs. Yeah, I believe we only played that wing back system because we never had enough midfielders to cover. So obviously, I think he'll probably revert back to the 4. So it could be a 4-1-2-3. So 4-3-3. So you probably have Caicedo holding Enzo and Gallagher. So you know what I mean. Then we could have
That's a
Gallagher
solid
doing
midfield.
the work up and down. Enzo putting the balls around and passing the ball around, and you've got Caicedo just holding, mopping up. So that's probably the amicable thing to do. And I don't think we need to play a 5 at the back formation. I think that's you play those formations, defensive formations against the better teams. I think against West Ham away, we need to go all out to win the game. So I'd go with a 4-3-3, and then we can start Gallagher for his performance against Liverpool, which is the reasonable thing to do considering his performance.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair, but I don't think you'll start Lavia and Caicedo together. I actually would be
Not both of
surprised if
them.
we
Not
started
both.
Caicedo from the beginning anyway, because I just
Got
feel
it. Got
like,
it. Got it.
well, I feel like it's one of those days where you bring him off the bench, right? Maybe he comes on after 60 minutes or something like that. Do you want to just give him the run out? I suppose you can justify it because he is quality and we need that, but I wouldn't mind it if Pochettino
You
had
know,
Lavia and Caicedo on the bench and brought them
we
on.
haven't got we, we haven't got a proper DM. End of story. We haven't got a DM in the squad. Yeah, we need a DM in the squad. Just put him in the team. Let Enzo and Gallagher go up the pitch and do what they do. There's no point having him on the bench and starting a Gallagher in DM when Gallagher's not a DM. There's just no point in it. We're also going to play in that role. If we ain't got a DM, you have to revert back to the 5 at the back formation because then Silva can push up and he can do the mopping up further up the pitch. We don't want to do that. We might as well start Caicedo in DM. That means Gallagher and Enzo got the license to push forward. Enzo can put his balls in behind. Gallagher can do his work and his pressing. And it's just a better formation in general.
How do you feel about Sterling? Do you think that he deserves more game time? Because there's two different conversations. There's the conversation of the here and now. He's not good enough. He's not performing. He's not had a great preseason. I mean, he was better against Liverpool, but still not good enough. A lot of people are saying he looks like the weak link in the team. Or is it a case of saying, listen, we need a bit of blind faith here? He didn't have great management last season. How's that going to help him develop as a player? Now he's got a proper manager in Poch. Let's give him a run of games.
He wasn't fit last year. Nowhere near it, mate. The geezer against Real Madrid, he had a pot belly. He was not fit. And during the pre-season, he looks like he has been working pretty hard to get back in some shape. He does look a lot fitter this time round. Still early doors. We can't. One game into the season, he's had a pretty decent game. Probably one of his best performances in a long time against Liverpool, from what I could see. Just give him a chance. Give him a 2, 3 games, 4 games until Muddy Waker comes back. Give him a chance. And if he doesn't prove himself for the next 3 games, when Muddy Waker's back fit, if he's sitting on the bench, it's his own fault. He's had his chance. Hasn't performed. Muddy Waker comes back, takes his place. We did go in for Elise. That's fallen through, unfortunately. I think he would have been a brilliant player on the right, but just stick with Sterling for another season. And if he doesn't perform this season, get him gone. But we can't. Everyone jumping on his back saying sell him and this and that. No fucking chance, mate. You shouldn't be. You can't sell a player after one game in a pre-season, mate. You got to give him a consistent run of games to prove himself, and he's got to get his chance now. No matter
there was some pretty harsh fan cams about that, Kev. I was thinking, bloody hell.
I seen them. I seen them. Sterling, mate. Listen, Sterling hasn't got to prove shit to none of us here on the fan cams, mate. Sterling's is a back-to-back 3-time treble Premier League winner. He scored the second most goals in City's history or whatever. You know what I mean? The guy's a proven player in the Premier League. He scored goals for England, got assists. You know, on his day, he's a good player. Personally, I would have signed him from the start, but okay, we've got him there. Let's just try and get the best out of him. Let's not just jump on his back after one game. And to be honest, there he didn't even play that bad. You know, let's just see if he can build on his performances. Say in 5-6 games, he doesn't improve. The way he comes in, takes his spot. And if he's still playing poor by January, look to shift him on and bring someone else in. But right now, it's too soon to everyone to be saying sell him this out because the guy's a proven Premier League player.
Yeah, I do think he played better than people give him credit for. But I think, can you still agree that he looked like the weak link? I mean, the weakest out of what we had.
I said it from last season, mate. With Sterling, you've got to play a certain way. Sterling is not the kind of player to drop deep and spin a man. All you've got to do with Sterling is that, put your arm on his back, and he's going that way. He's not going to roll you like Hazard or doing Sterling. You want him in and around the area dribbling, or you want him in the box doing a tapping. So you have to adapt to the way Sterling thinks. Weak link, it's down to the tactics of the manager in it. You know, if you're playing Sterling in a right forward position, that's his best position. If you're playing him right wing where he has to come back, that's his best position. So it all depends on how the manager where it wants to see him. Me personally, I want to see Sterling right at the top in the box, doing his dribbling in and around the box, not coming back near the middle of the pitch where he's not going to do anything for you. He's too lightweight and he doesn't want to turn a play or get on the ball as much as he does when he's in the box.
Okay. And obviously Reece James is injured now. Typical, isn't it? But he is out. He's got a hamstring problem. I think it's they said he's out until December. It's just typical, isn't it?
I've had enough of it. I've had enough of it now, James. I love the guy, I love the player, and I think he's an absolute world-class talent, but it's time to fucking go. But I don't I'm being mate, he's not fit.
Oh, kid, you can't be defending Raheem Sterling and telling Reece James to leave. Fucking hell, man.
No. Three seasons in a row, the guy has played probably 10 games.
Oh, that's all not season, true. Bro. That's not true.
What are you going to do? That's his season. So how many games did he play last season?
Okay, I don't have the stat sheet. All right, I'll look it up, mate. I'll look it up.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But he had a run, and he's injured. Had a run, injured. End of the season, he's back again, injured again. Come back for pre-season, first game, and he's fucking out until December, mate. It's not good enough, man. 350 grand a week, whatever he's on, yeah. He's playing minimal games. Yeah, I just.
Right.
I'm not. If you compare it,
if you compare it to other
probably
players,
being a bit harsh to say sell him. I'm probably being a bit harsh. To say, okay, put my hand up. But it's one of those situations where
he had 16 appearances, and I think it's either 2 of them were as subs or 2 extra. I think 2 of them were as subs. The season before he had 26 appearances. The season before that he had 32, and the season before that he had 24. So he's only had 1 season above 30 appearances in the Prem. But we've only got 38 games, so you're going to get rested for some. I mean, you're still looking at least 50% of the games, right? I know that's still underwhelming, isn't it? I mean, I'm not going to sit here and disagree with you, but you can't get rid of the man. You just pin him down to a contract. He's now the club captain. All right. I mean, that gives him even more of a stronghold in the squad.
Well, I just don't get what's going on. Like, are we rushing him back? Is there an actual problem with his hamstring? What's the situation with it? Because he's picking up hamstring injuries all the time. It's the same thing.
It was a knee problem.
It's the same injury.
It was a knee problem.
Yeah, and
but I think
the hamstring one. He's had a hamstring injury before as well. Again, so could it be a
Everyone's
reoccurrence on
saying he
that? I
wants
don't
surgery,
know.
Kev. So I guess that's probably the right
Mate,
move for him. I mean, you keep getting injured, you might as well get surgery.
surgery. Let's get surgery. There's no point just fucking about now, bringing him back December for him to be out again, because that's what's going to happen. And what I've got to say is, if we never signed this Gusto from Leon, we would have been fucked, mate. And I said this last year when we had Dave as our covering right back. Yeah, I remember against Villa, I said, if we don't sign a right back, we're fucked. And what happened? We slipped down, because James wasn't fit. And we're still here now into the next season. James still not fit again. So it's very, very frustrating. But personally, I'd rather see James out for 6 months having surgery than bring him back after 3 months and then be out for another 3 months again. Just get the injury dealt with, get the right attention to it, and let's come back, and that's it. No point fucking about now, bringing him back and being out again, because it's frustrating for us fans. Having to see just a world class talent against Liverpool, phenomenal again. You know, when he's done that little turn and such a phenomenal player, we don't want to see him and get teased for 1 or 2 games and then he's back out again.
It is a tease, isn't it, Kev?
There's just no point. There's no point. Just get the injury dealt with properly and come back, and let's see the best of Reece James, hopefully for more than 5 games.
Yeah, obviously we've got Malagusto as well covering that position. Are you feeling confident about him? Because I'll be honest, I mean, I like what I've seen, but I don't feel like I know enough about the player to really judge.
Personally, I think we need another right back now. I think it's if Gusto gets injured, who are we going to play right back now?
Chalobah.
There you go. But Chalobah's okay. He's not even fit himself at the minute. He's meant to be out for a month or 2. So I'm not. No offense to Chalobah. No offense to Trev. Very, very good player and very versatile. But what I'm trying to get to is he's not a right back. We probably missed the trick with Tino Livramento. We've just gone to Newcastle. You know, we had the buyback clause on him. Well, I think we need someone just covering wing back. He probably can play left back and right back. But it's just frustrating. Hopefully, Gusto, he comes in and you know, he has a run of games and he just gets better and better, because he's a good player. But I'm just worried if he does get injured that we're going to be short on that right hand side. For it's just football, isn't it? What can we do?
No, I mean, yeah, we'll have to see what happens. But I mean, just going back to Newcastle, Kev, they want to get our boy Lewis Hall, mate, and it looks like we're going to do it. 30 million, 35 million. Are you happy with it? Is it a fair price? What's your thoughts?
I said we had a conversation about blue balls 3 months ago. Out of all the left backs, what would you do? We had Cucurella, we had Hall, Mason, and Chilwell. I said with Hall, I'd loan. I think if we sell to Newcastle, try and put a buyback clause in there, but I don't think Newcastle would do it. I think in the next 3-4 years, mate, we're looking at probably the next England left back. He's that good. Big Newcastle fan from what I can see.
His family
wants more game time. Yeah. So what I can see is he's not going to get no game time whatsoever this season. So for his own progression in his career and for him to make his wings grow, just let him go. Let him go and let him do what he does best. And I wish him all the best. He's a great young talent. Unfortunately, we've got Chilwell, we've got Mason, and we've got Cucurella, which we probably should have got rid of him, but it's life. I think if he goes to Newcastle, it's only him. Who else plays left back from now? They've got him, and he plays left back for Newcastle now.
Oh mate, it's too late. I can't remember, but
he hasn't gotten.
There was a player from Aston Villa, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, I'll check it out in a second. But I mean, Kev,
that happened.
Let me know what you actually think is going to happen against West Ham. Score predictions. Obviously, I think we're both very confident, but I mean, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think it's a nice, easy 3-0, 4-0 like me, or you're a little bit more conservative?
I don't think it's going to be a thrashing. I just think we're going to have to be very, very, very patient. West Ham are not going to come out to play. They're going to want to sit back and is trying to get on his counter attack. So we've got to be
even
aware of that. I think, yeah, that's what they've always done against us. West Ham have always sat back, and the most of the goals they've scored against us has been counter attacks or set plays. Like last season, set play, counter attack last season when they beat us. So did they beat us? Was it 2-1 they beat us, or was it 1-1? Sure, they beat us 2-1, do you know?
It was 1-1 last year at home.
1-1. Felix scored that volley.
That's the one, mate. That was our only goal of the month as well.
Yeah.
How times have changed, mate.
Yep. So I can see it being 2-0 Chelsea. And it's got to be. There's no if we don't beat West Ham on Sunday, there's no point us really getting carried away about this top four right now. For us to be in contention and stuff, we've got to go to West Ham and get the 3 points. So let's go there. 2-0. I could probably see Jackson getting one just to give him a confidence boost. And if I was a betting man, I'd probably say Mudryk. I think Mudryk, if he starts, I think he'll be a real threat to him. So Jackson and Mudryk with the goals if I was a betting man.
Love it, Kev. Well, listen, guys, thank you for listening. Another episode of the CFTV preview show for the West Ham game on Sunday. Always a pleasure, Kev. Thanks for coming on, mate. Listen, guys, let us know what you think. Do you agree with us? Do you disagree? There's a lot of debates to be had because I feel like some people are a lot more confident than others. But generally speaking, I would be surprised if most fans aren't optimistic. But let us know what you think in the comments, guys. If you haven't already, like and subscribe to the channel. And looking forward to speaking to you all very, very soon.